I hate harems. Well, not really. It's actually a love-hate relationship. I've read a handful and it has the same formula where there's an oblivious male lead with multiple ladies falling in love with him one after another. I've read this manga since 2017. Each release is a 15-page chapter uploaded weekly in 2023. Even before its anime release, I've already drafted my script because I want to talk about how I initially got hooked only to be disappointed with its progress. I think I dropped the manga during its Paradise arc. It's still ongoing and continues to have controversial chapters where it was debated and clowned on by many, so I don't want to add to the disappointment. But then again, here I am in a different rabbit hole, still have not learned my lesson. By reading Medaka Kuroiwa is Impervious to my charms. I found this manga back in 2020 when I was looking for another shoujo to read. Yes, despite my previous videos on Tears on a Withered Flower and Dirty Deed, I'm actually a shoujo girl. Since I was exhausted with Kanojo Okarishimasu, I happened to stumble upon this manga while looking for a new one to read. The manga starts off with a girl named Mona, the queen bee, adored by many because of her natural beauty and personality. She is so used to the attention that when she got to high school, she was expecting the same treatment but got the shock of her life when there was a guy immune to her charms. And that's this guy, Kuroiwa Medaka, a transfer student who does not fawn over her charms and always looks angry. She couldn't believe there's a person who is not attracted to her. So she found herself making deliberate effort to get this guy fall for her, from acting cutesy to essentially showing off her body. Initially, I was just intrigued by how will the story unravel. The manga starts off strong with just focusing on how hilarious Mona is, trying to get Medaka's attention. But as she continues to pursue him, she starts to question her true intentions. On the other hand, while Mona is contemplating on her feelings, Medaka is oblivious to her struggles and just minds his own business. We find out he only seems to be indifferent because he is training to be a monk, which means he is prohibited from falling in love with girls. As such, he must follow what is expected from a monk and refrain from acting on his feelings. Now in volume 2, a third person is thrown into the mix, Asahi Shonen, a year younger than Medaka and Mona. On the onset, she was introduced to be romantically interested in him, which added another layer of complexity to the already complicated dynamics between the two main leads. Their first meeting, Sahi came off as reserved but blunt in her manner of speaking. However, she sheds that cool demeanor once she spots Medaka. She blushes endlessly and stutters with her words. I'm up for the love triangle trope. However, when they're going Ranma one half, that's when my brain starts.
What?
Not even far off into the story, another girl is introduced. In volume 4, we have Tomo Namba. She is Mona's childhood best friend. Initially, she supports and helps Mona understand her feelings for Medaka, but eventually she realizes she likes Medaka as well, as revealed in chapter 73. I see comments saying this is going to be Kanojo Okarishimasu 2.0, and I couldn't help but agree with how the pacing of the story is leaning towards. I'm close to dropping this manga until Tomo confesses to Medaka ahead of Mona and Asahi. And chapter 199 is even more surprising with Asahi suddenly kissing Medaka. With the recent turn of events, how will Mona face these three in the next chapter? Matane!